to talk about survival on aspects of trying to survive.
Could you
Something that
survive?
interests me, yeah, if we can. Something that interests me has interested me for a while. I didn't grow up Boy Scouts. I didn't grow up anything like that. The only knowledge of survival I have is what I've seen on like
Something that
TV
interests me.
shows, and movies. I don't know how accurate that stuff is, but there's some incredible stories of survival. One of the most famous ones is like that guy who got trapped in the rock with his leg.
Oh yeah, and he had to like
For like,
saw it off, right?
yeah, I think the story goes is that he had to eventually take off his own leg in order to get out, and he survived. He wound up living through that situation, correct?
Yeah, he did. There is a whole length movie, like an actual like motion picture about it.
Cool. Yeah,
I
so,
wouldn't have survived. I'd have been dead, dude.
no, yeah, I would die very, very quickly. I would die quickly or, like, do something horrible, like turn to cannibalism or something. I don't
There's
it would be hard for me. It would be hard for me to, like, kill animals, but I know that I would have to do it, like fish and then kill them and then eat them. I don't eat fish. It's hard for me to do all that stuff.
Why are you
Um
eating me? We still have food.
Yeah.
Uh,
So anyway, so I brought a guest on. I got contacted. His name's Binary. He told me he had some cool stories about him surviving and him going on a camping trip with a buddy of his, and things kind of went awry, and he made the best out of an ugly situation. I talked to him a little bit. He possessed the knowledge. He said he was in the Boy Scouts and stuff like that, and his interests kind of lie. Um, and kind of like exploring and he sounds like a very adventurous person. So I'd like to welcome everybody to Binary. You there, Binary?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
yeah, we can
We
hear you.
can. I'm gonna
Awesome,
turn you
awesome.
up a little bit. All right, go for it. Why don't
Yeah,
you
what's
start
going
off
on?
telling us nothing, man? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, hot today, but good.
Cool. Yeah.
Where do you
Yeah,
live,
if you want to
Binary?
start off, yeah, where are you from?
So I recently moved back to California. I've been living in Arizona for about 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, camping in Arizona is it sucks.
I can only imagine. Dry heat.
Yeah. You're never sleeping very long at all.
Right.
Yeah.
But were you always into camping? Like, was that like a thing when you were a kid? Was it like a generational thing? Did your dad, was your father into it? Was it in the family or what?
Honestly, I think I was really young when they put me in Cub Scouts.
Uh,
And I wasn't really like I'm really into music, and
Same.
so outdoorsy stuff was kind of whatever. But then when I got into Boy Scouts, my best friend at the time, who was also my neighbor, he also joined, and then together we kind of found a passion for it by going to like Chewanakee Lake, and we did a like a
Chaz, thank you.
what's that?
Go ahead. He's
Sorry.
talking to a chat he got.
Oh, no worries, man. Yeah,
This muting.
yeah, that we did like a Boy Scout event at Catalina Island, and
Chaz,
more
thank you
do
so
it,
much for that
the
like,
better
bro.
you
Much
get at it. And
appreciated,
all
my
of a
dude.
sudden,
I
you're like, oh, this
appreciated
is
that,
actually
dude.
pretty fun.
How intensive are the Boy Scout trips? Are they like supervisional, like you have a bed and a yacht and a cabin, or is it like you're making shelter and you're on your own? What is it about?
Yeah.
Look at the
So when you go
nuggy.
up with a troop,
Everybody, look at the
like
nugs.
it depends on where you go, right? Like if you go to like a jamboree type situation,
Hmm.
uh, there is a like they'll have either tents
Oh
set up for you, or I remember one time we went to Big Bear as a troop. It wasn't all the Boy Scout troops combined. It was just um I guess I could mention the troop, right? I guess there's no way to. Okay, yeah, 464.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know what that means other
I
than
don't.
those are
Neither do
numbers
I.
of a
Yeah.
troop, so I think you're
it's
safe.
yeah, it's just a troop number. I suppose if you wanted to look up everyone who was ever in 464, you could find me. But
Right.
yeah, so we when we went to Big Bear, we got a cabin. When we were at Chewanakee, we actually stayed in tents, but they were like They were tarp tents, like just straight up two poles, two supporting poles, a pole across, and then a tarp draped over.
Hmm.
Um, sometimes we would camp in tents. Sometimes the Boy Scout, it's really one of those like it's as intensive as you want to make it.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. So like when did you start like adventuring out on your own to seek things? I know that you told me that you were interested in like one trip you were trying to make sap into sufficient kindling. Is that right? Those type of
Yeah. So Fatwood. Um,
fat wood.
yeah, Fatwood. I guess I was like 16, maybe 15 or 16. I had just gotten my own car, and
Nice.
it was like, oh, okay, I have wheels now. Because I grew up in the suburbs.
Yeah.
So there's not, unless someone takes you there, there's not really a lot of like I've been going to like Kern River, and
Hmm.
it's like parking lot camping kind of like you can drive right
Right.
at your campsite.
Right.
Um, so once I got my car, that's when I was like, oh, okay, I'll do some camping trips, and I think some of them only even lasted like one night because I had never done anything as extensive as really backpacking out for a long time and then staying out there for a long time, and then you kind of,
Do you
progressively.
feel like oh sorry, do you feel like your trips
No.
have gotten like longer and longer every trip that you've taken?
Absolutely, yeah,
Cool.
And
absolutely.
usually when you go out on a trip, do you like notify family members or friends like where you're gonna be at and give them like coordinates and stuff like that? So if they don't hear from you in a short amount of time, they can come and find you?
Okay, so if I know I'm going out for, because I mean, the reality is you can give someone like where you're about to go in, but
Right.
Right.
the nature of the trip is like, oh well, I've gone this far in this way.
Yeah.
Screw it, I'm gonna turn left here.
Yeah. Right.
So if I'm going really, really deep in, a lot of times I'll rent a satellite phone.
Okay.
Just in case anything should happen, because I
How much
know
does
it's
that
like
cost? You make it seem like you're renting it, like it's expensive to buy one.
well, okay, so to buy the phone, it's like a little over $1,000, which just isn't
Holy.
worth it.
Well,
Um, and
I
then if
mean,
you're like, what's that?
phones nowadays are very expensive. You know what I mean? Like just regular
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, yeah. So I figure a regular phone you're using every day. A
Yeah.
satellite phone is something that like you're only using in special occasions. Plus it's
Yeah,
like
how many trips are you really gonna go on a month or whatever?
Right.
yeah, 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 yeah. Plus a lot of people don't realize satellite phones aren't like you pick up the phone and you make a call. It's like you pick up the phone, you look at the screen, and it tells you like, "Hey, there is a satellite above you right now. You got like a 2-minute window."
Whoa.
Oh,
You know.
that's
Huh.
cool.
And how often is a satellite over you so you can make a phone call?
I would say
Random.
yeah, it's but you can kind of count on like every 10 minutes of like you'll have a good 2 minutes to 5 minutes, sometimes even longer of service, and then it blacks out for however long till another satellite passes over you.
How many satellites do we have up in the sky?
Probably a lot.
I think
I'm
over
sorry.
100.
I overthink everything. Binary, I overthink everything, so it's just normal, all right?
He's like, "Dang,
Probably a
dude, that's a
lot.
lot of satellites."
Yeah. It has to
Yeah,
be.
every 10 minutes for sure.
Yeah, so it's a handy thing, I think it's something like I've never had to do it personally. I've been in a position before where we contemplated using the satellite phone. Um, but it's like I think it's something like $400 or $500 to get airlifted out of somewhere. And
Right. Oh,
so it's
that's yeah.
yeah. So it's one of those
Like
like,
an
hey,
ambulance. It's like an ambulance.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So when you go on these trips, what do you normally pack with you? Like what's the essentials? What
What
do
can't you live
you
without?
What
yeah,
can't I live without? I always bring a boiler. Uh, I do bring a water filter with me, but sometimes it's just inconvenient to pump water.
right?
Um, and that's like obviously you can strain the water through a scarf or a schmog. Um, you can find cleaner water, but a lot of times it's just easier to boil the water.
Right?
What a knife. I always bring a knife. It's super handy. What can't I go without?
Do you bring your
Um,
own food to last you throughout the trip, or are you trying to like scavenge? Are you doing a hunter gatherer or what?
no, yeah, I always bring food. It's like the backpackers, like freeze dried food, and the
Kind of like
brand
Mhm.
standard.
MREs, kind of like MREs.
Sort of, yeah, yeah, yeah. They're a lot lighter than MREs because it's like an entire like lasagna or I mean they're pretty they get pretty decadent, man. Like you can get like sausage and eggs, like
With
What?
the MRAs.
yeah, with the MREs, yeah.
Yeah, they have nuts. They have nuts things, and it's all cool because it's all like self-contained. All you need to do is like add water, and it like heats up. Like there's all types of crazy stuff. There's like chocolate pudding. It
Well, I
gets nuts.
remember I remember me eating MREs, and it wasn't because I'm a veteran or anything like that, and I was out at war or nothing like that. I'm from Florida, and like Florida is known for hurricanes, and I don't remember what year it was, but there was 3 hurricanes that hit back to back to back, and we were out without power for like 2 months. And the National Guard came, and you would meet them at the park, and they would give you a bunch of meals, and they were all MREs. So, yeah, that's my experience with MREs.
Was it
Yeah, there's
good?
like
I don't really remember. It was like 2000. I want to say it was like 2002.
Probably was
We're
not good.
talking
If the
20 years
experience is
ago.
not memorable, then it wasn't good.
oh they're way better now. There's like peach cobbler now. You can
Oh
literally make
wow,
a whole peach cobbler.
that's
I
sick.
wouldn't recommend peach cobbler to anyone who's like doing serious backpacking because there's like it's not just water in the bag. You gotta like pull it out of the bag and then put it into a pan, and it was this whole thing that we didn't realize until we got out there. So don't get peach cobbler if you're trying to stay
So
out
you
for
don't ever do the hunter gatherer thing? You don't ever hunt down your food and skin it and eat it and all that stuff?
I have, yeah, but it was never something that I mean, I think the worst thing I had to clean was like a mouse. You
You ate a
know,
mouse, dude?
I did eat a mouse. Yeah,
Dude, that's
I
like
ate
a
a mouse.
Can you
delicacy
can, can you
somewhere.
walk us through that situation? How did you come across needing to survive to eat a
How did you
mouse?
catch the fucking mouse? That's what I want to know.
Okay, so the guy that like, we've got like kind of a small group of dudes. It's maybe like 4 or 5 dudes. I'm gonna say this right now, and I don't know what your demographic is for uh your
I
viewer
think it's
demographic.
older. It's around our generation, I think.
Yeah.
Um, so we used to have this rule that like and this is just a side note. I don't know if anyone's listening who's like, please don't hate me on this, but
Hmm.
we found that when you're hiking really hard, um, women tend to vomit almost almost guaranteed.
Okay.
Like I don't know if it's we're just doing stuff that's like really strenuous or what, but we ended up coming to a conclusion that like, hey, no women on really long extended trips because they end up vomiting, and then they like two chicks that we brought with us one time got like really bad heat stroke, and
Interesting.
um yeah, but because I don't know if you guys do backpacking yourselves, but sometimes the bags can weigh upwards to like I think one time we went out
I would die.
um we went out, and my bag I think on the way in was like 80 pounds. And I don't think the bag was actually rated for that because the straps actually like disintegrated, and all
Oh,
that was
shit.
on my shoulder was like the raw cloth, like the interior padding had like separated.
And that's on your
Um,
way
Wow.
into the trip, or is that on your like halfway through the trip?
oh, that was on my way in, man. That
Oh,
was
so you
like
gotta fucking bring it too. You can't just like leave it.
yeah. So I ended up just like wrapping shirts around the cloth to pad my shoulders. But by the time we got to our final destination, it was like 17 miles in or something. Um, my shoulders were like raw. They were like bloody.
17
Mm,
miles.
that's wild. That's a
But
long time to walk with that much weight on your back.
Absolutely. I'm doing like the math from where I live and then to a destination that I know is like
Forget it.
15 miles. Yeah, dude, I
Yeah.
couldn't do it. I would never make it.
you,
It's
you, you,
something I'd be interested in like breaking myself in like slowly to that type of stuff. I think it would be fun.
Like, could I do a
for me.
17-mile hike? Absolutely. Am I gonna do it in the time that you guys are gonna do it? Fuck no. You guys are gonna have to sit back and wait for me to catch my breath, drink a bottle of
Right.
water, eat a snack,
Right.
Yeah,
It
maybe
would take me forever.
you might throw up, man. You might throw up.
He's putting you in the group of women.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think a big part of it is like how I'm conditioned. You know what I mean? Like growing up, when I was a kid, I did like all the sports and stuff like that. My middle school, and I played baseball on my middle school team, and I played for my high school team, but I never physically played on the field for high school because of my grades. But like I did karate and stuff like that. And when I was a kid, I skateboarded everywhere and I skated, and like I was athletic
Mm.
when I was younger, and then I went down a path that it made me not so active. You know what I mean? There was a lot of time spent in like bathrooms and stuff like that.
Yeah. I hear
So,
you, dude.
But yeah, so the mouse story. Back to why that was important.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I got a main buddy of mine, and he's like, I would say 90% of the time that I go out, or maybe not, like 80% of the time that I go out, it's usually him and I. And
Cool.
we he's really big into weed. And
Okay.
Hell yeah.
so he brings a ton. We try to reduce weight, so instead of bringing like a bottle of Sailor Jerry's, which I think is like 40% alcohol, we'll
Mhm.
bring this stuff called Diesel, because it's basically like Everclear.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Moonshine.
Yeah. So
So
you
the
get
more
more bang
potent, the
for your
less you
buck.
gotta. Yeah, the
Yeah.
less you gotta bring, the more potent it is.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So he would always make room for weed and like a little pipe and whatever. You have your luxuries that you want to bring out with you.
I would just
So
roll the joints beforehand.
oh no, he was like religious about it, dude. He was like, you gotta roll a blunt, and then you gotta smoke a bowl. So one night where I think we were in the Angeles National Forest. I forget how far we were,
So you keep
but
naming all
Where
these
is that?
places, and
Yeah,
I don't
where's that
know any of
located?
these.
so the Angeles National Forest is one of the largest California like forest reserves or
Oh,
whatever.
cool.
National Forest. I'm looking at it right now. Oh, you
Yeah.
got mountains and everything.
Yeah, it's wild, man. There's all kinds of like animals
And is it one
and
of those? Is it one of those places where you can? What's the different climates where you can be hot one moment, you can see snow in another part of it, or is it not
it
like
de-
that?
yeah, so it depends on, because if you start like nearer to California, which is like the Acton area,
Right.
near Southern California, you can actually hike through the Angeles National Forest all the way to Mammoth Mountain. So the cool thing about that is once the snow starts to melt in Mammoth, that's what gives the water its like really cold, icy temperatures.
Okay.
Plus, it's super clear, super clean. I mean, I still filter it because parasites are a real thing. But
Absolutely.
Right.
yeah, but yeah. So you will get an experience of pretty much all kinds in different terrain too. It's really wild when you go back there. You know.
Yeah, there's a bunch of pictures like waterfalls and stuff like that. I would love to see something like that.
Oh, did you see the picture of Fish Fork? Is that what you were looking
I
at?
have no clue what I'm looking at. So I see some. Here, can you see me? Can you see me and Brian on our cameras?
I can see you, yeah.
Okay, so that.
Oh, yeah. That's a little further north. That's a little further north.
And then there's this one.
That might be Fish Fork. Yeah, that might be Fish Fork.
Yeah, this is so cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like swimming in there, like it's dope. But so we ended up going pretty far back, and it was like, you know, when you go camping, um, you end up going to bed a lot earlier than normal, and you end up waking up a lot earlier than
Yeah, that would
normal.
make sense.
Yeah, because when the sun goes down, you're like, okay, there's nothing to do.
And you've
So
also been fucking hiking for hours. You're kind of
yeah,
already physically tired. It makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm about to go to bed, and we bring a bear bin when we go into the Angeles National Forest.
It's a bear bin.
A bear bin is like a, it's like a,
Oh,
looks like
stuff
a,
to keep away from a bear if a bear came.
Yeah, it's like a Donkey Kong looking barrel, and
Right.
Nice.
and you can we usually put the food in there and then we string it up into a tree.
This place is fucking beautiful.
Oh, you're looking at Angeles National
Holy
Forest?
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever get an
You want me
opportunity,
to
go.
Yeah, share your
Go.
screen.
California? I have some relatives in California, but yeah, let me
Share your
share my
screen.
screen. Let's see if you guys can see.
So you hang the food in the tree so the bears aren't coming to like ravage your campsite, right?
Yeah, because we've had
But
bear encounters
don't
before.
but
It's
don't
terrifying.
bears climb trees?
Yeah, so there's like a method to hang it where you suspend it in between two trees. So like it's basically like a
They
tree on the
wouldn't be able
left,
to
a
get
tree on the right, and you hang it
kind of like a
between the
hammock.
two trees.
Kind of like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
hammock.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, because I was like,
But
wait, bears climb trees. I've seen pictures. You gotta understand, man. I'm from Florida, right? Like, we deal with alligators and snakes. We don't deal with bears. Like, we have Florida panthers, but if you see a Florida panther, you're dead because they're always high up in the trees, and you'll never physically see one. Like, it's very rare to capture one or to like get a picture of one or a video of one. If you see it, you're gonna die because it's hunting you.
it wants you to see it.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
absolutely.
sick. Do you see these
Yeah.
pictures? This is
Yeah, dude.
beautiful, dude.
So
I would kill.
I've been around the country. I've been to a few states, quite a few actually. And the one thing I've never seen is a mountain. I've never been up close to where a mountain was. So I was in Salt Lake City, and there's like mountains that are like off in the distance. It's not like mountains that are like right there where you can actually walk up one or something. Like, I always tell my girlfriend, like, I want to go see a fucking mountain. I know it seems like so small and like not important to a lot of people, but it's really fucking important to me. I really want to see a mountain one day.
No, dude, some people
That's
haven't
cool.
seen the ocean, man, you know?
I live right
Yeah,
next to the fucking
could you
ocean.
imagine living in the middle of the country and never seeing the ocean? Like, if you
I
don't have the
live
money
right
to
next to
travel,
it.
then you'll never see these things.
Like people who are like born and raised in like,
Yeah,
you know,
Wyoming.
South Dakota.
Yeah, Wyoming, South Dakota.
for sure.
But yeah,
Alright.
so
Yeah.
I end up going to bed early, and I remind my buddy, I'm like, hey man, you're gonna put the food up, right? Because on this particular trip, we brought like tortillas and stuff and peanut butter and different things like that.
I would assume bears love peanut butter.
They fucking love peanut butter.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
sorry. Is this like a curse?
No, you can cuss. You can
No,
cuss.
go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Express
So
yourself.
so I go to sleep and I wake up the next morning and this dude is sitting next to the fire. It's steaming now. It's like it's not even a fire anymore. And he's passed out in the position that he went to bed in, right? And I'm like, dude, did you stay up all night getting high? And he's like, huh? Oh shit, man. Yeah, what's up, dude? And I'm looking around and there's like wrappers
he ate
torn to
all
pieces.
food. He got the munchies.
No, dude, he forgot to put the food up and a raccoon got it.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm like pissed off and he's sitting there still like I think he woke up like kind of baked. And he's sitting there like, dude, oh man, my bad, bro. And I'm like, dude, we have no food. Like it even like opened up and just completely decimated all the dry food. So I'm sitting there like, okay, well, I guess that's the end of the trip. Like we're gonna go back now. There's no food. So we start breaking down our stuff and we had built like a little shade area because Angeles National Forest, like midday gets blistering, like it's hot.
Yeah, it looks like a hot place. First, it looks
Absolutely,
dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're not in the wooded area, especially, it's hot as balls, man.
Right.
So as I'm taking that thing down, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. Like, do you want to stay? Let's stay. Let's try to complete the whole trip because we were supposed to be out there for 30 days, you know? So
Wait.
this was like
Whoa,
day
whoa, 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 whoa,
14.
whoa. Stop. You guys go camping for 30 days at a time?
It's hardcore.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm trying to
Yeah.
wrap my mind around if I were to prepare for a 30-day trip, you'd need to bring a fucking U-Haul with things that I would need.
Yeah, that's an incredible feat right there. Go. How much stuff do you like? I'm gonna assume you brought an 80-pound bag with you on
Yeah.
this month trip.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
And you're
Um,
barely like getting full. You're just eating enough to survive. And obviously, you can go without food for longer than you can without water. Because without water, you'll die.
yeah. 3 days without food. I think it's something like a day and a half without water, you'll die or something like that. Or 3 days without water, 10 days without food, something. I've
Yeah, I
never
think that's
gone.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
I've never gone without water. So, but we try to keep things like really caloric dense. Like we make these things called backpacker bars, or I think everyone has a different name for them, but
Like protein
it's like
bars.
yeah, but it's just like
Yeah.
really dense. Like we put bacon in them
Oh, you
and
make them
you know
yourself.
yeah, just to get like extreme caloric value. You know,
Right.
like
Bacon bar. That
My
sounds
brother
fire.
went on a jog from like North Manhattan to like South Manhattan. He said it was like a really long, like the longest jog that he ever did, and he like worked himself up to it, and he like was jogging and like timing himself and pacing himself and timing, and he bought these like water ball things. They're like made of gel that you could eat
Oh
while
yeah, I've
you're
seen those.
running. Yeah,
yeah,
so he like bought those and did this jog, and he said it was like the most incredible thing that he's ever done his entire life.
So do
Uh,
you? So no, because that would just add a lot of weight. So you don't bring water with you, right? Because you're just capturing it and filtering it as you're there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say because yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
what like I never understood about like so I use like Nalgene bottles. They're like really lightweight plastic bottles.
okay.
And I've noticed a lot of people are like really into the hydro flask thing for like outdoor stuff, and I'm like,
so heavy.
that is so heavy, man.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the big fucking metal containers that fucking I see
Yeah.
people walk.
You
Yeah,
know what's cool about those things
people
is
go
that
to the
they
gym one
probably
time
have
and
multi-purpose because you could also drink water out of it, but you could boil water in it too and use it to eat out of. So
No, not
no,
out of
you
hydro
can't.
flasks. Yeah, so
Oh,
the double walled nature. So I think it's Nalgene, and I think Coleman also makes one. Um, they have to be single walled containers in order to
mm.
boil in them, or they'll blow up.
Oh, yeah,
wait.
because it'll expand.
Oh yeah, heat. True.
Yeah. So the double wall is no good. That's what I mean. Is like they really kind of don't have a use, you know?
It look cool.
Yeah, they look cool.
It's
Yeah,
like
You can buy some
smoking.
cool.
You look
everybody
cool
goes
when
to
you
the
smoke.
fucking gym, and after their second session at the gym, they think they carry one of those. It's really obnoxious, actually. I've seen
Uh,
somebody literally carrying it was a plastic thing, but it was like a 5 gallon fucking water jug. It was obnoxious as fuck.
Thirsty. Dude's
Yeah, but
thirsty.
so here's the thing, right? Like throughout the whole day, you're not going to consume that much water because you'll drown yourself. So there's literally no point in having that big ass thing. You literally can't
Five
drink that much.
gallons?
You could not drink that much water in a day. You would well, I don't know. I never Google searched it or whatever, but I would assume
Supposed to
that's too
drink
much
like a
water.
gallon a day, right? That's like good for you.
I don't
it
know.
depends on like what you're doing. Odd fact: if you're vaping, you actually need to drink more. Like vaping apparently really dehydrates you.
I vape all day long. It makes sense because I'm always thirsty and I'm always like I literally go through 4 cases of water a week
I'm
between
gonna
me and my
get you a
girlfriend.
hydro flask,
Bro, my
Justin.
birthday's August. My birthday's August.
I'm gonna get you a big, giant, double-walled hydro flask.
5 gallon motherfucker. Thing's bigger than me. Um, how
So
many
back
days
to
can
the
you go without
story.
water? Oh no, wait, that's not what I wanted to know.
Yeah, so
How much water
we
will
end
kill
up
you?
deciding that hey, we're gonna stay out there and we're gonna figure it out. So at the time, I carried like a fishing pole that breaks down.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah. It's
All right, I have an answer here. It says there aren't any firm guidelines about how much water will kill you, but drinking more than a liter or so every hour for several hours isn't recommended by a doctor. So you get water intoxication.
you get too wet.
Yeah.
You get too wet, dude.
All right, so I was listening to everything you guys were saying, but I was on mute.
Yeah, but at the time, I didn't carry that fishing pole. Um, I just carried like fishing line and
Uh-huh.
hooks. Um, So we ended up doing like pitfall traps. I don't know if you guys are familiar with
Yep,
those, but
I am.
I'm not.
yeah. So you take, you just dig a hole and then you put something over the hole, like not to cover it completely, so that
Okay.
predators can't get to it. Whatever falls into the hole. You can put like smear peanut butter at the bottom or something, and usually in the morning you'll get something like a tarantula or a scorpion will be down there, or you
Have
can put
you
like a.
ate tarantula?
I tried. I tried.
You tried to eat it or you tried to capture it and it bit you?
I captured it, I cooked it, and I tried to eat it, and I couldn't do it.
I
I
would
couldn't do
imagine you'd have to get because like
it.
spiders are just nothing but like hairs.
Yeah, the hairs are what gets you, man. Like there's a way to do it because I know people eat tarantula.
Maybe boil
Um,
it first.
yeah, I tried to just straight up char it, and it was one of the worst experiences I've had in my life. Biting into like the abdomen of
Gross.
Are
a,
they high
charred
in
tarantula.
protein or anything like that?
They have protein. Yeah, they have protein value. I mean, at that point, it was just whatever we could get into our bodies.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so
Was
we
that
ended up.
this trip or was that a different trip?
That was a different trip. Yeah.
Oh wow.
We're still talking about the mouse. We still haven't even got to the part how we caught a
Yeah.
mouse.
Okay, so we did the pitfall, and we used half of the bear bucket at the bottom of the pitfall. And like I said, like we had caught a tarantula, we had caught a scorpion, no snakes, which would have been super bomb because they're like all meat.
Yeah, and they're easy
Um,
to clean. You just peel the skin right off of it.
yeah, their snakes are beautiful to eat.
Yeah, cut it and
But
just
we
peel it.
did catch a mouse, and it was like a little tiny field mouse. And I ended up killing the mouse and then trying to clean it as much as I could. And I got all the guts out. And then I went to the river and I'm like washing it off. And there's still pieces of hair on the outside because the skin tears so easily. It was a nightmare. But we ended up cooking it and eating it. And it was okay. It was good.
You said it was a field mouse, right?
So
Yeah, it was like a little mouse.
With
the
big
mouse
ears.
fell into the pitfall trap.
Yeah, it fell into the hole. We ended up pulling it out of the hole.
How big are you making
And
that hole? Because I used to have pet rats. I mean, rats and mouse aren't exactly the same, but they're basically genetically the same. And they can jump.
not
They can jump pretty fucking high.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I would say it was about the diameter of like a frisbee, maybe less, like a disc golf frisbee,
Right?
and then maybe about 2 feet to 3 feet deep.
And when you're building these, obviously you're not building. Here, let me look at my camera. You're not building them on an angle like this, because then they could just, or like this, because then they could just go up the wall. So you're building it more on an angle like this, right?
We built it straight down, and then you put a bucket at the bottom,
Oh, because then
for the
it'd be slippery.
slickness.
Yeah, it'd be slippery,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah. So we use the bear bin at the bottom for the slickness. But we caught some cool stuff in there. It was pretty cool.
So you bring a fishing pole, and you bring that for what? Just so you can go fishing, or so you can catch food?
So I can catch food if it's always cool to have fresh food, wherever
And
you
are
are.
all the fish you're catching out of those lakes and ponds in there, are they all edible?
Yeah, it's rainbow trout, man. Rainbow
Oh,
trout.
oh yeah, you're golden then.
Yeah, yeah. That's what actually saved us. We were about to call it quits. I was waking up at I think like dawn every day and sitting out on this rock above this giant the rock was really high above this body of water.
Right?
And it was near like the Iron Fork. I don't know. Yeah, you guys aren't familiar with the area, but I was sitting on this rock by the Iron Fork, dropping this line in every day. And then one of the days, I ended up catching like 7 fish.
What'd you use for
And
bait?
so nothing,
Wow.
nothing,
Hmm.
no bait. Yeah,
So
no
you're just
bait.
basically draglining it.
Yeah, just hoping something will bite.
Yeah.
And one day I actually caught like 7 fish, man. We celebrated.
Oh shit.
I got blackout drunk on diesel and
So here's the thing about that though, right? Because you catch 7 fish, those 7 fish don't last you but a day, maybe 2 days, because they're gonna go bad because of the heat. You
you
can't
can
keep them cool.
you can smoke them.
Oh, you know what I would do? I would fucking put them back on hooks. I would make multiple hooks on a line, and I would put them back in the water, but attached
Yeah,
to a
there might be
line.
other fish that'll
Yeah,
eat
so
them.
true.
No, yeah. So the problem with that is it's not fish that will eat them; it's you'll attract predators.
Mm.
Mm.
You know,
And you
because a
got
lot of
what?
times,
What do you got out in those woods? Like bears, obviously, because you're doing the bear barrel.
yeah,
What else you got out there?
mountain lions,
Oh, fuck that.
bobcats.
Yeah, fuck that.
So you don't
Yeah,
bring a gun with you?
we bring a lot of guns actually. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so when you're hunting or not hunting, when you're doing like a survival trip or whatever, like I forgot the laws behind it, but like people that aren't allowed to openly carry a weapon can carry a weapon when they're fishing and when they're out doing survival stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so it's 12 feet from your established tent.
Yeah.
So once you get your tent up, then you can open carry anywhere 12 feet near your tent. Obviously, I mean, no one follows that law. Yeah,
Oh, of
but
course not. But it's for
yeah,
survival. I get it. Yeah, it's for survival.
yeah, yeah.
So how many guns do you normally bring, and what type of guns are you bringing? You're not bringing like an assault rifle because it's too much weight to carry on top of your 80-pound bag. You're probably like what, handguns?
Yeah. So my buddy has a 45 that he brings. Um, I usually bring a 9. I've recently upgraded and started going with the 45 just because we did have like a bear incident one time.
Stopping power, yeah, compared to a 9mm.
Right.
The 9 millimeter did nothing, dude.
You would
Yeah, I
unload
bet.
it. You'd unload it, and it would just be mad.
Yeah, yeah. We unloaded into a bear. Is that so? One of the guys used to go
Is
out
that
with
legal to kill a bear?
if it's encroaching in your camp and
I
like
mean, he's headed straight
causing
for
problems.
us, and then you shoot it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
screams
Yeah.
he's headed straight for us, and then you shoot it.
South Park style.
Yeah, exactly.
All the
He's
bullets were
headed
in the
straight
back of
for
the
us.
bear.
So a
Uh,
bear
I know some
comes
real
in
life
your camp
situations
and you
like
guys
that.
open up fire. Your 9mm does nothing. Are you reloading or are you screaming and running? You grabbing a machete and charging at this thing? What are you doing next?
okay, so our buddy James, he had brought his 9 millimeter and a 12 gauge.
Awesome.
I brought a 9 millimeter and a 38. My
Okay.
buddy Mark brought a 45 and I think a 10. And
A
we
10.
literally,
I've never heard of
yeah,
that.
a 10 millimeter, or
That's
not a 10, a 40. He brought a 40.
Okay, I was gonna say, is 10 a thing though?
10 is a thing, yeah. But I think it was a 45 and a 40.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, we unloaded into this bear. I mean, till we were empty,
Wow.
and that bear just like got pit. I don't the sounds it was making. I don't know if it was pissed off or really wounded, but
That's
it
actually a pretty
turned
big bullet.
tail. Yeah, it turned tail and bounced, man. And we ended
Oh,
up
it just
looking.
ran out.
Well, we looked for it because we were like, man, we can't leave a bear, pelted with bullets like this, man. Like this is fucked up.
Cut it up and eat
Um,
it.
I mean, just put it out,
Yeah.
But we never found it, man.
So
We
on
never found it.
all the like movies and stuff like that, because this is really the only thing I know about camping and hiking and all that stuff. Like on all the movies, when there's a bear encounter, like they charge at the bear, screaming and making a lot of noise, and it usually scares off the bear. Is that the case? Is that true?
Yeah, it depends on the bear and it depends on the situation.
So
Like
where are you originally from? Are you originally from California?
Chicago originally.
Oh, Chicago. So here in Florida,
He said he
like
traveled around a lot.
yeah. So here in Florida, like when you go to school as a kid, the one thing they teach you is how to get away from an alligator. I wonder if in schools in California they teach you how to get away from a bear.
Wait, you guys get alligator training?
Absolutely.
I did not. I grew up in New Jersey and New York, but
yeah,
he's a Florida native.
Yeah, we get alligator training. It's really
They
simple.
don't teach you anything in Florida and New York.
You run in a zigzag, and you run for a short period of time in a straight line to the zigzag, and then you cut back every 3 seconds is what they say. So keep cutting back every 3 seconds. because an alligator can run in a straight line very fast, but it cannot change the direction that it's going at the drop of a hat like humans can. How we can just go
Yeah,
like
because
this.
they have burst speed.
Yeah, they have burst speed.
Man,
But
so
if you're running in a straight line from an alligator, you're fucked. It's gonna run
So you-
45 miles an hour.
so you're like you gotta look like a maniac every time you're avoiding an alligator.
Yeah, I'm 36 years old, and growing up here in Florida when I was a baby, it was a lot different than it is now. There wasn't as much population, and where I'm from, like, it wasn't as overpopulated as it is now. It was a lot of lakes and a lot of ponds, and there was a lot of alligators. I can take you out to a place right now where there's still many alligator, but they don't come up and fuck with you. People have the conception that once you see an alligator, you're in trouble. You're not. You're literally not, unless you're taunting the alligator or anything like that, or if you
Throwing
have
food at it.
yeah, if you have food. So what they call it here in Florida is molesting an alligator by taunting it and throwing food at it or feeding it or anything like that. They call it molesting an alligator. It's a
You can't-
horrible
yeah.
fucking term for it, but that's what they call
Can't
it.
molest them. No
Yeah.
molesting alligators.
I will share a video to you. I will upload it and then share it to you, a video of me walking around like 15 different alligators, and I'm like literally within like I could throw a rock and hit it. They
Oof.
don't really fuck with you that bad. These are huge alligators too. They're not little babies. They're massive.
I went to a park one time with my kids, and we were like throwing like bread to the
Yeah.
ducks that were in the pond, and this was in a fucking park, like a kids
Mhm.
park, and there was like play set behind us with like monkey bars, whole kid set up, and there was a sign there that said that there were alligators, and I didn't notice this sign. And we were throwing the food in for the ducks, and we were like backing out, and then all of a sudden we see the eyes of the alligator on top of the surface of the water
Mhm.
where we were throwing the food, and I was like, "Oh shit, what
Yeah.
were we thinking?"
Yeah, this is no bueno.
I'm from New York and New Jersey. Like alligators are not a thing, you know. So
On the
for me to
surface.
look around on right,
On the
for me to
surface.
for me to look around and look for a sign for an alligator near a park and a pond and a body of water is just not a habit for me. But it was alarming for sure because it was so close and the kids playthings were close as well. But yeah, nothing ever happened. It just stared at us, and people were running over and taking pictures and stuff, and everybody was freaking out, especially my girlfriend.
I feel like that's
Um,
like a New York thing, man. Like
what
you
to
guys
freak
don't
out?
have a lot of like scary stuff, except
Rats. They got
all of your
rats.
yeah, but all their scary stuff is like contained in the sewers. Like, and it's always a myth, you
Yeah.
know, like, oh yeah, they've got giant alligators in the sewers, or like martial arts turtles like digging around down there, you know?
Yeah, a lot
But
about like
didn't
survival in the
they
city is like don't
prove
go
that
down
that's
a
true
certain
though?
street at a certain time.
Didn't they prove that there are alligators in the sewers in New York?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure they proved that was an actual fact. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere or I seen it somewhere. I got a bunch of useless knowledge in my brain. I'm gonna find this video and I'm gonna put it to my drive, and then I'm gonna download it on my computer. I'm gonna share my stream with you guys. Show you. I just gotta find this fucking video. My Google Drive goes back fucking many years, and everything is backed up.
It's all
on that.
good. Do you have anything to add with the story that you were telling, Binary?
Which one was that about?
The one where you're talking about with the mouse, catching the mouse and hunting down the bear and
Oh yeah, we ate the
all that
bear. We
stuff.
ate the fish was like the biggest. I mean, we ended up I think leaving day 28.
Oh,
Just because
okay.
food became so much of a problem that it was like, man, this is even. I'm not even enjoying myself at this point.
So day 14, you said that this tragedy happened with the raccoon, and you stayed until day 28.
Yeah.
Cool. It's awesome.
It blows my mind that you're able to go out and survive for that long. Cause like, I was talking with my coworkers, and everybody swears to God that they could survive like a nuclear holocaust or a zombie apocalypse or just everything shutting down. And the reality of the situation is not many people would actually survive. Like, they wouldn't know how to gather enough materials and what to do in that situation. And like the food situation, like you're going to need to gather fresh food every other day because you're not going to have any way to keep it cool. You're probably not going to be able to smoke it, or you're not going to be able to have proper wood to cook it. You're going to run out of these things, and like people are going to die. in a really fast period of time if anything ever happened. I know I'm going to be one of the first ones to go. I have no qualms about it, and if it came down to it, I'm all right with it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going out in a blaze of glory, though. Believe
I mean,
that.
it's really like food acquisition is like the hardest part.
What do you mean
If
by
I'm
that?
being real, like it just gets to a point where you're in a race with yourself. You know what I mean? So like I was telling your buddy like it's really a lot of luck a lot of times.
Right.
Because the reality is you're yeah we were out there for a long time and we were quote unquote surviving, but
Right.
it wasn't like we were maintaining weight or gaining weight. Like it was a race with our own bodies. Like, oh, okay, we're just getting enough food to like be mobile and do shit, but we were arguably burning way more calories than we were taking in every day. You know.
Right.
So at
Have
some
you
point,
did you like think to like set up some of those like crazy traps that like have catch fish downriver by itself so you could like walk away and go rest, or like have you ever tried anything like that, like some self catching thing besides the pit trap?
yeah. So we tried to do a like a pulley system in the water so that when a fish pulls down on a branch, um, the branch releases from the lock branch, and then it pulls the fish out of the water for you.
Hmm.
Um, hugely unsuccessful.
Okay.
Hugely unsuccessful. Yeah, yeah. It was a terrible failure.
Okay,
Terrible
so
failure.
it's hard for me. I couldn't find that video, but I'm downloading this right now. Give it a second for it to download, and then I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. I really hope there's no police here watching or anybody reports me, because this is highly illegal.
Why?
Are
Where
you
were you?
are you molesting them?
I am molesting an alligator. Yes. Okay.
Ah,
I didn't know that
So
was illegal in Florida.
all right. It is absolutely 100%. Okay, so this is about a 14-foot alligator. Let me share my screen.
I had no idea that you're not supposed to do that. But
No,
what
you're
if you're trying to
absolutely not.
feed something else?
All right, you guys can see this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I cannot.
So we caught this on a fishing
You gotta
pole.
click on watch stream.
Yeah, let me know when you have it pulled up. You got it pulled up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That bitch is
Holy
huge,
shit,
dude.
that's a big thing.
That
Yeah.
motherfucker's at least 10 foot.
That's a big alligator.
That's my
bro.
boy Brian Allen. I shouldn't give his
Fearless.
government name.
That dude is fearless, dude.
Like, once again, dude.
Born
unless
and
you're
raised Florida.
Oh, absolutely. He's trying to get away from us. He's trying to get away. Like, they literally don't want any problems.
Let your slack go.
Oh, you know
That
who
is a
was there with us?
big-
Hunter was there.
That is a big alligator,
Dude, he's
bro.
huge. Are you kidding me?
Where was
Yeah.
this?
That's over off of
Yeah, I ain't
45th
fucking
Street.
with that.
45th Street.
Yeah, I got a little spot over there where we go fishing.
That's a big boy.
This
Yeah.
shit goes on Facebook.
Nah, of course not.
Dude, you guys
Brian's crazy.
are fearless, dude. Oh my god.
I was gonna tag you in
No,
fucking
but
Bowser.
that thing is all like, I want to eat you and I'll
No,
kill
he's
you
not, though.
forever.
So
He will.
So he caught a fish, and when he was reeling in the fish,
Wow,
the
it's on the
alligator
rival.
grabbed the fish.
Huh?
Brian was probably cursing at the alligator.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Dude,
you were
back my
molesting
fish.
it like the alligator came to you.
Technically, we were. Technically. Fine. I got a bunch
That's cool.
of videos. Yeah. Hold on.
45th Street. Wow.
Yeah. If you ever want to go fishing, I can take you over there.
I'm good.
He said, "I'm good. I'm good, fam."
Not
I
really
saw
my
that
thing.
video.
I
I
think
saw
it's
that video,
on.
dude. I'm good.
Yeah, fuck bodies of water and Florida, dude.
Nah,
Over
it's
it.
not that bad. So I took my girlfriend, me, my buddy Tommy, his girlfriend at the time, Dylan, and I took my girlfriend who was just newly pregnant at the time, and we went over here messing with the alligators and stuff. I have this video. I think it's in my Snapchat. I gotta find it.
Let them be. They're prehistoric dinosaurs in the water.
All right, here we go. Here it is.
Let him be.
Like they're perfect killing machines.
Oh.
Right?
Go back. Okay, what do I do? How do I do this?
They're all instinct.
Export snap. Yes.
If you get a chance to end up in Angeles National Forest, you guys should check out. There's like a bunch of abandoned mine shafts out there, and if you go into
Oh.
them,
Uh-huh.
one time we ended up like walking really deep into this abandoned mine shaft to the point where we got to an area where like the ground was flooded, but we could step on these like pieces of debris and rock and different things to keep above the water. And it got to the point where we were like not crawling, but we were bent over. You know, we couldn't
Oh.
stand up straight.
So I got a buddy that goes out and hunts alligators, and I got a video here of when he went and hunted like an 18-footer. He's holding the head. This thing is massive. But I just downloaded another video. Hold on. This was us walking around with, like right by all of them.
Oh, so you can hunt them. You can hunt them though.
You have to, so Florida does this thing called the Florida Lottery. You have to submit a permit to the Florida Wildlife and Game, and then they do a lottery where you put in your ticket into this lottery, and then they draw tickets, and then you can have up to 2 alligators, and they have to be within a certain size slot. And it has to be done in a certain area. You can't just go out and just kill any alligator you see. It has to be done in a certain area. It has to be tagged and then reported. Ultimately,
Yeah.
we're doing Florida a favor by killing alligators. Yeah, alligator is good eating. I don't know if you've ever had like alligator tail or alligator backstrap or jawbone or anything like that.
Gumbo, that's it.
Yeah, so you've had alligator though. It's fucking really good eating. There's a restaurant right down the road from where I live called Days Last Resort, and they actually serve alligator tail. All right, so
There's a food truck that drives around in LA called Great Balls of
Okay.
Fire.
All right, so
And
I'm
they
gonna
do
share my screen
alligator-
again.
Alligator everything.
I'm gonna share my screen
I've
again.
had alligator nuggets before. It wasn't horrible.
Wait, where'd it go? Hold on. Why is it not? Fair. Why is it not?
But yeah,
There it was.
we got pretty far back into this mine shaft.
That big fucking
And
alligator right
before
there.
we knew it, you know, we're wearing headlamps. The
Fuck.
walls,
You
it was
won't.
like some Indiana Jones shit, man. Like the walls were crawling because the tarantulas were trying to not be in the water. So just tarantulas all over the walls, man. It was nuts.
That's insane. So it's just a random mine that is in the park.
Yeah, you can find mines all over, like abandoned mines, because you know that was like big
Alright.
gold rush stuff.
Here we go. Click on that. Let me know when you're watching it.
I see it.
I'm
You
watching.
see it? All right. Mommy,
If Dylan gets eaten by that fucking alligator.
by that big fucking alligator right there.
Oh shit!
You won't.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I did.
Got a little
see-
stick.
Yeah, it's my boy Tyler. He's a fucking fool.
That little stick gonna do. What's a fucking twig?
Yeah, so you can actually see the tag on this. Hold on. I will upload both of these. Export, snap. No. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm wasting your guys' time.
It's all good. We're hanging.
We're good.
Well,
Good.
this guy literally has tags, so he's allowed to do this. So there's that one, and then I will show you one of the actual head, which I believe this is all one snap.
Oh, you guys caught that one.
No. I'm a convicted felon. I would never carry a weapon. Hint, hint. Wink. Nudge, no. I've never done anything illegal with alligators. I'm not in any of these videos, so I'm.
I've never done
100% safe.
anything knowingly illegal with alligators. I don't read up on state law. Do you read up on state law when you travel to another state?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it
it's a
never
smart
occurred.
move.
Never occurred to me to do that.
Honestly, I only look up gun laws
True.
because I'm a firm believer
That thing
in
is
always having a
massive.
gun on you.
All right,
Wow.
there it is.
Holy moly!
Oh, you can see it. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So you see the
is
tag?
massive.
You see the tag on his head?
Yeah.
See, I told you.
Pretty heavy.
It's close.
Yeah.
That thing
Is he
is
bringing that to a
huge.
taxidermy or something?
No, he was
that's
gonna
kinda
eat it.
gross.
Because it's like
Oh.
5 days of rot.
Yeah, it's 5.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Why
my
isn't
boy
it
Shaq.
mouth like flopping open? It's like muscles are stuck.
Yeah, it's close. It's like what do you call it?
Rigor mortis.
Rigor mortis. Yeah, rigor mortis set in.
Because yeah, it's
Hold
been
on.
dead.
I got way more videos. I just gotta find them all, dude. They're all over the place.
Wild.
Yeah, Florida life, man.
Yeah, man.
So we were at work today and we were talking about there's like a hurricane coming, Elsa, or whatever, and all my coworkers are not from Florida. Right? You know why, Brian, because what I do for work. So nobody's from
Mhm.
Florida, right? And they're like, oh my God, there's a hurricane coming. I'm like, fuck yeah. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a great time. Power's going to be out for a week. Like, you don't have to go to work. I'm a salary employee, so I'm still going to get paid. And they're like, that doesn't sound fun at all. How am I going to shower? How am I going to eat? Those people are going to be the
Right.
first ones to die when the apocalypse happens.
I don't know what's gonna happen with this hurricane that's coming. Usually, when they say it's coming early, it never hits us. That's like how it's been in the past out here with the hurricanes.
Here we go. Perfect.
I don't know. Not really worried about it.
I'm not
But I
worried about it
kinda should
either.
be.
I want it to happen. I live right next to the ocean, but I don't really care about that. My building is sturdy, and
My house is 1,000,000 years old.
I can survive a hurricane. You know what I mean? So I feel like if I can survive a hurricane, maybe I could survive a little bit of time out in the wilderness. 1 second, I got another video for you guys. Here's the one where we're walking around. That's not it. It is it. It is. I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to count them up for me. Can you guys see that? Oh no, I gotta share my screen.
No, you didn't
Yeah.
share it.
There you go.
Watch a stream. What do you got?
About 7 alligators, I think. What we got? We got 1. We got 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And then big boy all the way out there is 5. Where the fuck am I? Look at my hair.
Cool.
Yeah, we were out there fishing. Look, you see the girl in the background fishing with the fishing pole?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Where
just
was
out there
that?
fishing. 45th Street.
Again, 45th Street.
Bro, all of those videos are from 45th Street, bro. That's the #1 spot to go and see alligators. We saw deer out there, white-tailed deer. Yeah.
Cool. Have you ever, Binary, you ever been like specifically out to go hunting instead of just like backpacking?
Yeah.
So what have
Yeah.
you hunted? Like what have you set out to hunt before, and what are your successful hunts?
Deer.
Where?
No,
California?
no, Wisconsin.
Cool.
What and
Yeah.
when you're doing that, are you using a rifle or using a bow?
Rifle. I have never been bow hunting, man. That terrifies
I can
the shit out
imagine
of me.
how hard it would be.
I mean, have you seen like a deer like up close?
Yeah, I've
Like-
seen like within, I don't know, less than 100 feet from me. And
I
here
would
in
not-
Florida, up at that spot I was just showing you guys with the alligator.
I would not trust myself to down a buck with a bow and arrow. Because like, can you imagine if you don't
you don't kill
down
it? Yeah. Yeah,
You
because
know?
then you gotta fucking track it down, and then it's gonna be kicking everywhere, and it'll fucking buck up and kick you right in the chest.
Or you just get gored by those antlers.
Yeah, that's the scary thing.
Yo, so we got boar. We have wild boar here, just a little bit north of where me and Brian live in Martin County. There's a lot of woods and terrain out there, and there's a lot of wild boar. And my buddies go out there. I won't fuck with boar because they literally charge right at you, and their fucking tusks that are coming out of their mouth will literally rip your skin wide open, and it's coming off. If they get you in your leg, in your thigh, you can die because it'll hit your fucking artery and you'll die. It's happened. Not to none of my friends. But
They eat people. They eat people, from what I hear.
yeah, they will. I mean, the chances of you'd have to be out there by yourself, and it'd have to hit you in the leg, and you can't walk, and then it would slowly, it would eat you. It would literally leave nothing. It would leave nothing behind.
Crazy.
It is, dude.
Should we wrap up soon? Do you have anything you want to bestow on us before we head out, Binary?
I know. I feel like we
Um,
bounced all over the place, but it was still we had a good time.
You mean like advice or something?
Anything you want to. This is your moment, man. Anything you want to say to the world? Anything you, not the world, but maybe like 4 or 5 listeners on YouTube, but like whatever, man. Whatever you want to say. If you want to, any if you have like a bottom line about like why you are the way you are, or like what keeps you going, or what you love about it, or anything you want to say, man.
Okay, I'll say this. Um, if you think you can't, you can. Um, if you're the type of person who views it as like really daunting, it's just like one step at a time, dude. Like you're not
Oh
gonna go
yeah.
out there and beat Bear Grylls tomorrow, but like you start out like just go to a hiking trail, hike the hiking trail, go somewhere else. Obviously like pick up your shit when you leave. Don't trash an area, don't overfish a spot just because there's tons of fish.
Yep.
You know you can it's all up to you. If you think you're gonna die in the first month of the apocalypse, then you're probably gonna die in the first month of the apocalypse. But if you really want to, nothing if you really try hard enough, everything is edible.
Oh, I got a
True.
question for you. Have you ever drank your own urine?
I have drank my own urine.
And how did you do that? Did you just piss in a bottle and drink it like that, or did you filter it out? And how long did that process take?
Okay, so I pissed in a canteen,
Okay.
and I just drank it. I didn't drink a lot of it.
Did you
It
vomit?
was I did vomit, yeah.
Yeah.
I did vomit. It wasn't, you
Fuck,
know what?
that's
It's not
rough.
even the taste. It's not the taste that makes you vomit. It's the knowledge that you're drinking your own piss that makes you
Right.
vomit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know
You
what I mean?
couldn't.
Was
You
this
couldn't
in a
convince yourself of it
situation where you had to survive, or this was like, I'm gonna see what this is all about?
This is like I'm gonna see if I can drink my own urine.
in case you were ever in a situation.
Where
Preparation.
I had to drink my own urine.
Do you
This
have like a bomb shelter somewhere in your house, like stocked with food, ammo, guns?
I don't have like a bomb shelter. I do have like a panic type room type situation.
Oh, you're a doomsday prepper.
I suppose you could call it doomsday prepper. It's got like like
That's
pounds
fucking
of
dope.
rice, pounds of beans, pounds of a bunch of canned food,
That's so
spam,
smart.
Dude,
different things like
thinking.
that.
So, have you guys seen the place? I don't know how much it costs. It's like millions of dollars, but it's like 5 or 13 stories below ground, and it's like a bunker.
The silos, the old silos.
Yeah, dude, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, hell
So
yeah.
I
dude.
watched this thing on YouTube. It's called Yes Theory, which I highly recommend anybody watch. It's about positivity and seeking discomfort, like doing things that you normally wouldn't do. And one of the things they do is they go to a lot of weird places and look at stuff. And one of the episodes they went there, and I think Mr. Beast did it as well. But yeah, they
I
went
think
and spent like days there.
it's got this like really weird negative connotation to it, right? Because I view it as like people buy they buy like homeowners insurance because something could happen to their house. They buy flood
Right.
insurance because it could flood. You wear
Right.
your
Yep.
seatbelt when you get in the car, but the minute
Right.
someone prepares for something that may or may not happen in terms of doomsday, everyone views it as like, oh, that's so crazy. Like, why would you ever do that? It's like
I would believe more people believe in doing that than not. Because somewhere in the back of your mind, and especially in these past couple of years, everything that's happened with the coronavirus and
True.
our past president and possible nuclear warfare, like people started thinking that, you know what, could actually be a reality. This could actually happen, and I'm not prepared for it.
yeah, I started prepping. I wouldn't say like I'm a fully stocked prepper, but definitely enough to get by for like 2 years if something were to go down.
I think the
Yeah,
first thing I would
gotta do stuff.
I think the first thing I would do is raid a fucking Publix.
So you would loot.
Absolutely, because I'm not prepared. I don't have the material. I don't have the stuff to be prepared to survive. So
But
I
see,
would need to do
You
it
know,
in a hurry.
there's the rub though, right? Is like everyone else who's gonna loot is who you're gonna run into.
And I'm
right. I
killing
was
all
just
of
gonna
them.
say
I'm gonna murder
that
every last one of them.
since we're talking doomsday scenario, so like a doomsday situation happens, like people are gonna be cutthroat so much more than like whatever is the thing that is going around that is forcing people into this doomsday situation.
Did you not
Like the
hear what I
person,
said? Did you not hear what I
you're gonna
said?
you're gonna murder everybody.
I'm gonna murder everybody. You're laughing like I'm joking. I'm not.
Well, no, that's the
Would-
thing,
to
right?
go to
Like,
Publix.
I'm
I always-
not.
I always tell people all the time, man, like, you know, I know people who are like, oh, you know, humanity will show its dude, I'm gonna tell it to you like this. When Hurricane Katrina happened, that wasn't even like the world went down. That was
No.
like their city went down.
Yep.
The Thunderdome became a very accurate depiction of what might happen to the whole world if like the
You're
grid
Yeah.
goes
100% right.
down.
You're 100%
Like,
right.
It's every man for himself. And people get crazy. Like that's just what happens. People
If
get
you're
nuts.
elderly and you're out looting, I'm sorry, but you got to go. If you're a man that looks like you could beat me up, I'm sorry, you got to go. The only people that I would not kill would be children. That's it. They can be the savior of our country years down the road. But if you're elderly and you look like you could beat me up, you got to go.
So Justin is killing people for a can of Spam in Publix for a
Absolutely.
doomsday situation to
I'm
feed
gonna own
his
I'm gonna own
child.
Publix. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't blame you, bro. Like I get it. Could you imagine the type of shit that was really going down? Where'd they go for Hurricane Katrina?
Superdome.
Some
Yeah, Louisiana
Superdome. Like, could you
Yeah.
imagine some of the crazy shit that was going on in there? You know?
I mean, and that was like that wasn't even like a world like a global apocalypse. That was like they were
One
just out
small
of power
part,
and shit.
right?
Yeah. And it's like
Yeah.
they were raping people, they were
Yeah.
stealing shit, they were beating people to death for
Yep.
water. Like holy moly, you know?
Yeah,
man.
I got a house already picked out that if anything goes down, I'm going in there and duct taping everybody that lives in the house and sorry, you got to go. And then that's going to be my fortress. That's my fortress. That's my fort. Motherfucker, I guarantee you not many people are going to be able to get into it. This house has walls that are concrete and they're fucking massive. And there's this little tiny wooden gate to get into the compound. That's going to be my house.
Have
That's
you heard
gonna
of
be my house.
have you guys heard of like Gray Man?
No.
What's that?
Gray Man. So it's like a prepper like term. So like the reason that would be a bad house to be in is it would attract people who believe it's a good place to hunker down. Right?
Makes
So like
sense.
the idea of the Gray Man is like if you have like in Arizona you can open or conceal carry. No, it's constitutional carry. So like you don't need a permit to conceal carry. You just like if you want to carry a gun, you could put one in your back pocket, walk out and carry a gun. So the idea is that like you never let people know that you are even slightly prepared or have any kind of shit going down. You're just kind of like, hey, I'm a normal citizen who would be helpless in an apocalypse situation, and you try to hunker down in an area that doesn't look like you could ever hunker down there. You know?
That makes sense. I may have to revisit my thing that probably will never happen in my lifetime. But
Well, because it's like, think about it, right? Like anyone passing that area would look at it and be like, oh, I bet you there's people in there who have shit
Right.
because it's a compound that no one could get into. Let's try to get into it.
I don't know. Now I'm reevaluating my whole situation, bro. Like I don't know. Like in the event that something like that happened, I would probably pack up my family and try to drive somewhere in like the woods in like North Carolina or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, it's the same. It's the
Yeah, but
concept.
so if
is
the
like,
power goes out, like who has 50 fucking gallons of gas just laying around? The power goes out, you're not going to get the gas out of the fucking pumps.
solar blankets, bro.
Yeah, but my
Solar
car,
blankets.
I don't own a Prius.
What?
I don't know, dude. It's the only thing I could think. Like electric car. I don't know.
I don't own a Prius. What does that do to the solar blanket?
I don't. What is a solar blanket? I don't know what that is.
I think
Like-
it's like a heat blanket.
No, so it's like a solar powered. So it's a blanket that instead of being like a rigid solar panel,
Oh,
it
that's so
folds up
cool.
into a blanket.
Wow.
So instead of having a generator in your home, you buy this solar blanket, and they sell like the battery packs that go to it. And the cool thing about it is each battery pack is independent. And if you want to power your whole house, you buy like 7 battery packs, and then you connect
Solar
them
powered
together.
generators, dude.
Yeah,
That's
and that
smart.
way your whole house is, and then you don't have the noise of a generator.
Just need weapons and food. You're good
Yeah,
to
but
go.
once again, the thing with the food situation, we don't live in an area where you're going to be able to thrive off of the wildlife. Before you know it, all the squirrels would be eaten. Everybody would eat all the alligators. There's not enough food here in South Florida, bro. We're too
I mean,
overpopulated.
I don't know. You just do what they did on The Walking Dead. You post signs of people surviving near some train tracks, and you point them towards your house, and then you
And
murder
because of
them
the
and eat them.
and because of The Walking Dead, I would never go to one of those signs. You know what I mean?
You just start a cannibal camp, and everybody's eating everybody, and it's not weird. And
So if we had to, what would be the first body part you would eat off of a human?
oh my god, are we really gonna go
Absolutely.
into
This
that?
is survival. This is what we're
I
talking
have
about.
no idea. What's the
You
most
gotta
proteiny part of a person?
you gotta go limbs first, man, because you gotta keep
Oh
them
my
alive,
god.
right? You gotta keep them alive for the
Yeah, because
duration,
yeah,
you
you
know.
would need to, because then the meat would start going bad and rigor mortis. And I would imagine, I don't know, do
Ugh.
humans release I mean, other than DMT,
Yeah.
does the human body release something that makes our body toxic that you can't eat us
Yeah,
after we're
shit.
dead?
Human shit.
Yeah, but that doesn't get released into the whole body. It literally just comes out of your asshole.
Well,
I
okay,
don't know,
so
dude.
uh there was like this big study, right? Because like your body doesn't release a chemical per se. What it does is your body will actually it's a protein in your brain, right? So there's this disease called the Kuru disease, and it's if you eat human brain that has the Kuru protein,
You become
um,
psychotic.
you literally lose your mind.
Yeah.
So it's named after this island, the island of Kuru, because these scientists in the 50s went to this island to study the cannibals. And they were like, yeah, we're just studying them. We're not partaking in the cannibalism. We
Hmm.
don't know why all these people are getting this disease, Kuru, right? What they found was that when you eat the brain of someone who has Kuru, you get this protein in your body, and your body is unable to process the protein, and the protein begins eating holes in your brain or whatever.
Hmm.
The funny part about it is each one of the scientists came down with Kuru, bro. Like
Wow.
they were
They ate
they
that
were
shit.
totally taking part in the cannibalism.
Well,
Totally.
Wow.
I mean, if it was presented to me, like if I went over to Brian's house and he's like, "Hey, man, I got a dead body. I cooked up some of it. Do you want to try it?" I'm gonna try it. I'm absolutely gonna try it.
Would
It's
never
a,
have a dead body in my house, chat.
He's lying, chat.
Never.
So what would you eat first? You couldn't go for the leg because you're gonna cut the artery and they'll bleed out. So you'd have to do the upper half of an arm maybe, and like the fingers, and then and then if you had to eat a human, how would you cook it? Are you gonna cut the fingers and bread them and fry them to try to make it as delicacy as possible, or what?
I think you just eat it, man.
Just eat it, fucking boil it and eat it, huh?
I mean, I've eaten raw fish
So
like right out of
gross.
the river.
I don't think I could do just raw. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to eat raw fish too.
I'd have to cook it. I'd definitely have to cook it. I think grilling a human would probably be the best way to eat them.
It's disgusting.
Well, I mean, our skin.
That's so gross, dude.
How is it
Oh,
gross?
I can't. It's just gross to think about.
And then, so most people are like, yeah, we eat the fat guy first because he'll feed us forever, right? But the reality of
Tons
the
of
situation,
fat.
the reality of the situation is the fucking meat in the body's gonna go bad, and you're not gonna be able to eat the fat guy forever. You'll only get a couple of days out of it. You eat babies. You eat
Jesus.
babies.
Well, it's like, you know that movie Airplane or whatever it is, where like, or not Airplane. I forget the name of the movie, but where they like the soccer team crashes in the snow and like the
No.
bodies are frozen in the snow and they're eating the bodies right out of the snow.
So then, yeah, depending on where you live geographically, if you have cold weather, you can maintain a dead body with the
Well, here's the
cold.
thing. They didn't have like fire or anything. And this is like a true story, right? So they were eating these bodies frozen out of the snow and they were like having to defrost the bodies before they ate them, right? So like at some point you have to entertain the idea that when they got to the penis, the only way to defrost it was to either put it in your mouth or like rub it until it was like defrosted. You know?
That's fucking so true, though.
Like that was the
See?
only way. Like you can't eat it frozen.
These
You
are
had to
things
either
that you don't think about.
yeah,
Right.
you had to rub it
For
until
good
it was
reason.
defrosted.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
eating
man.
babies would be the smartest route, though, because they're the smallest, and you could basically cook the whole thing all at once. You could throw it in a big fucking pot and boil a baby down.
That's terrible.
I know. I have
There's
a
so many
6-month-old.
good. If
I have a
anybody's
6-month-old
recording
daughter.
this thing, so many good clips.
I have a 6-month-old daughter. Okay, so
Horrible.
for me to say that, you
Oh,
know what I
man.
mean? Obviously, I'm gonna try to eat your baby before I eat my baby, but
You could never.
I probably wouldn't be able to. No, absolutely not. My girlfriend was just out here and overheard the conversation.
She's like, "What the fuck are you talking?" Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
I
guys
thought
doing?
this was a survival podcast, babe.
Oh, she knew. I already told her what it was about and
We're-
everything. So,
We're talking about surviving at all costs.
Literally.
but okay, and
at all
then
costs.
so then you need to also take into consideration, like, so when you see somebody that's elderly, right, and they have all these bruises on their body from just naturally bumping into something, their body doesn't heal like ours does, right? Is that meat going to be more tender, less tender? Is it not going to be edible because it's damaged?
Well, I think there's like a diabetes thing too, right? Like if someone has diabetes, you can't eat their meat.
I
Right.
have diabetes. Let's go. They're
So-
not
so you
eating
can't-
me.
That's if they care to educate themselves on the fact that you have diabetes
People
or
wouldn't-
care that you
yeah.
have diabetes.
I've never even heard that. You're the first person I ever heard to say that. Why can't you eat a diabetic?
I think a diabetic has a specific enzyme in your meat because you're not producing enough insulin.
It's the insulin that you're injecting. So you can see my
Can
camera,
animals
right?
be diabetic?
Here's my insulin. Yeah, animals can. Here's my insulin kit, right? So I have all different types of insulin. I have multiple pens.
Yeah.
This is a quick acting insulin which works within 5 minutes. This is a 24-hour acting insulin which lasts 24 hours, so I only need to do this once a day. And then if I needed to, I have the old syringe, and then I have my bottle of our insulin, which is regular insulin. It's pig insulin.
Yeah,
take
I'm
it.
pretty sure you just go like into a coma if you accidentally eat diabetic blood and meat.
It's
So,
probably
but it's-
because
if
of
you
the
were to
insulin,
kill-
the amount of insulin in our body.
If you were to kill like a pig or something, if you were to eat like a pig that had diabetes, and you cooked it and then ate it, would you not get the enzyme that you're talking about that would put you into a coma or what?
I'm not
So-
sure, man. I just from what I heard and what I read,
So
you
here's
should
probably
not
what
be
it
eating
is.
Diabetic meat.
Here's what it is, right? So every single human being has a pancreas. Your pancreas is what produces insulin. When you ingest carbohydrates or sugar, your body can register exactly how much sugar was intaked and how much carbs were intaked, and your pancreas releases the insulin into your body to fight the sugar. Sugar will actually kill you. Sugar is not good for your body at all. But luckily for you two motherfuckers, you lucky bastards, your pancreas still produces insulin, right? Mine
For now.
doesn't. So for now, mine doesn't. So I have to inject insulin into my body to make sure my body stays alive. The difference is your pancreas releases it into your body. For me, I inject it subacute into my arm or into my stomach, and it's literally distilled there until it disperses slowly over time throughout my body. I would imagine that when it's through your pancreas, it's through your bloodstream, and a diabetic is doing it in the skin, so it's not, you wouldn't be able to eat my arm. You could probably eat my thigh because I don't do insulin into my thigh, but you couldn't eat my arm. I see where your body, if you have too much insulin in your body, your blood sugar will drop. If your blood sugar drops, you will go into a diabetic. You'll go into insulin shock. You won't go into a coma. Coma happens when your blood sugar is too high. You'll go into insulin shock, which essentially are basically the same thing, but one is produced because of insulin, which is the insulin shock, and the other is a diabetic coma, which is ketoacidosis. It's because you have too many ketones in your body, meaning that the sugar has taken over your body, and your body is fighting to stay alive.
See,
Your body.
You just
What?
talked yourself right out of a "Don't Eat Me" free card.
Yeah, the
You just
thigh.
told
They're
us
going for my thigh.
exactly.
Yeah, they're going for my thigh. They're going for my thigh first.
Aren't ketones produced because you have no sugar in your body?
No, it's from high blood sugar. I mean, it may be from low blood sugar as well, but for high blood sugar. So most diabetics know that their blood sugar is high because of a few different reasons. The telltale signs for me are the muscles in my leg tighten up. My muscles are tightening up, and I smell ammonia. The smell of ammonia is me smelling the ketones being poured out of my pores. Being
Have you
released
ever
out of
peed
my
on a
pores.
ketosis strip?
Yeah, when I was younger, it was like the only way that you could tell. It was stupid. Like, I don't know. The diabetic doctors that I was raised around and I saw when I was growing up, they really didn't know much. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I don't know. Nowadays, they know a lot. So, the advances that we've come so far with medicine and insulin
Thank
pens
God.
and yeah, you know what I mean? Like if I would have got diagnosed with diabetes 40 years before that, I would have fucking died because the resources for diabetics was like nothing. And then the price tag on insulin has always been high. You can get so according to Jeffrey Dahmer, I taste horrible anyways. My girlfriend just commented and wanted me to tell that to you guys.
Thank you, Danielle.
So I don't know. It's just one of those things where I guess I was lucky to be the age I was born at. You know what I mean? The year I was
Sure.
born and become diabetic. So,
Sure. You have anything you want to say before we wrap up, Justin?
yeah. So when we're talking about survival and preparation, the 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. That was more than 5 P's, but whatever. You get it.
Thank you. All right. We'll wrap up. This is Brian from Paradox Collective. Thank you, everybody, for joining, chatting, staying alive with us. Just want to tell you guys to question authority and think for yourself, question authority. That's it. Good night.